Right, can someone who hasn't caught a fish in 28 years catch anything other than a cod? We'll find out. Today we're at Moy Pocket and we're going to cook up some mad feeds. We're going to do a lamb shoulder, something you've probably never seen before, over the rotisserie. Then we're going to bury it in the coals, finish it off nice and low and slow. We'd also do a pulled pork or whilst camping. See what the cockies have to say.
I'm sorry, son, I'm not gay. I don't think I'll be f***ing you anytime soon.
I almost chopped the end of my finger off after trying to do a hand catch on the DJI Mavic 4 Pro. Lesson learned, don't look over your shoulder when you're trying to catch one. It even took the tip off the rotor. Fuck yeah, get that in ya. Righto, we got this fucking new cooker from CLD Fabrications. We're going to give it a run for its money. We're going to do some testing on it, see how we go. And if you're interested, this is the Outback camper. It's not sponsored or anything like that, but I want to do him a favour. Local producer in Australia. We'll see how it goes. Right, we'll quickly set up. I'll show you how easy it is. No tools, which is also handy for someone with a mong finger like myself. Right, we're going to do this in real time, and if I decide to speed it up, I'll put a timer in it. So this is the first time I have ever set this thing up. So it's got a couple of washers with a bolt through on one side, and this is with a mong finger too, by the way. Don't put your hand into a drain, it doesn't work very well. So I'm guessing that is the cooking grate. I don't need that. Hot plate if you want to bang some eggs out. There we go. That wasn't too bad. Pretty fucking easy actually. If you like me, you froth over camping toys like this. Just a little bit of info on the specs of this is the body of it's actually made out of cotton steel, which still rusts, but it actually rusts in a way to protect it, unlike other types of steel, which is pretty damn cool. And much like most hot plates, this is mild, so you obviously want to season this in, keep it lubed up, good to go. Righto. What we might do is I reckon we'll test this in the morning, and we'll cook up my famous maple bacon pancakes, nice and fluffy, but with homemade bacon. Righto. So what is the first thing you set up at camp? Mine is my shelter. This is living, Barry. How good is that? How good. After multiple hours and multiple tins, it finally stopped bleeding, so I better strap him up. Right, now that camp's set up, we've had a quick feed, fixed up the bung finger. We're just going to hit the dam, maybe flick a few lures and see what we can pull in. Yeah, she's good. Holy fuck! Even though I'm hopeless at fishing, I'm going to give my mate Tommy at Outback one of his alpha lures a crack, see what we can pull in. champion fucking flicker. Right, so at the moment we're using the Alpha Blokes Yabby lures, so these are obviously normally to target flatheads, but we'll see what we pull out here. We'll flick it a few more times and we might venture to a new spot, see what's going on. Right, we pounded the flickage and didn't come up with the beans, so we're going to head off to another spot and see what happens. Quite a few snags and stuff. I'm actually going to quickly well, not quickly, but I'm going to spark up the barbie and might have a cook up a few snags. Firstly, how is the Serenity? Now, if you have seen some of my videos before, you know I won't just always put the successes. I'll show you that it took a lot of casts to get the first fish. We'll see when that happens. Almost crumped her?
Yep.
Right, we're going to staple today. Good old tip-top white bread, and we're also raw dogging it. I did the rookie error, forgot the sauce, forgot the mustard, forgot the relish. Although we got some cheese numbers today, so we're halfway there. Look at that, cooked over charcoal. What the fuck's this dam called?
Borumba.
On the Borumba Dam. There we go. I got one for you. Throw us your mitt. Raw dogging it, mate, so if I can get that straight into you. No worries. Oh, it's even excited to see us. Look at it, juicing everywhere. Bang that straight down your, square down your neck hole. Oh. Even more dogging it still goes all right. Right, well, we caught 2 fistfuls of F4, but we did have a good snag. Almost lost the drone. You didn't have that fucking bit of excitement, so not only did I almost lose the tip of my finger, the drone almost went in the drink, because upon landing, it decided to absolutely crap its dacks, and it just flew backwards, almost straight into one of those deadwoods, and I just managed to flick it right at the last minute, and it missed it by, I don't know, maybe about 10 centimetres, and then trying to land the gold girl, Jesus. Because obviously the boat's moving around a fair bit and trying to get it land-handed after losing this, little bit of PTSD. So then we got one of the cushions, got that bad boy up, put that there, and then obviously you can imagine as you're coming down, the boat's just slowly moving, so then you're almost like missing the drop pad. We got it there in the end. And we didn't lose a Mavic 4 Pro, thank God for that. Righto, we're gonna head back and catch up with some of the boys. They should be at the campsite soon. Proper blokes barbecue, nothing too crazy, just one of those cheese snags again, straight over the fire. Like everything, prep is key. So you get up on Sparrow's Fart before everyone else, trim the pork rub, all that sort of good stuff. If you haven't done it the night before, we're going to set up your smoker or whatever sort of cookie you got. For this instance, I'm using the HeatBeads wood charcoal briquettes. I'm going to line that up in a snake method, which you'll see in a minute, and we've got some cherry wood as well. So depending on how much heat you got, if you work off, if you got your bigger briquettes, run 2 layers down the bottom and then a 3rd layer on top, interconnecting those. Just the key with a snake is to have a longevity, is make sure every single piece is connecting. So just think of it like dominoes. Start the first 2 sort of laying down and then have the rest laying up against it. And if you can imagine, the more horizontal you have them, that means the less heat there'll be, because there'll be less briquettes in the snake. So do with that what you will. It just depends on, I guess, the speed of cook that you want. If you had a few tins the night before, you might be running out of time, so you probably want to have them almost sitting up like dominoes, and then maybe even go 2 and 2, so 2 layers on the bottom, 2 on the top. Right, once you get your snake, we're going for 2 on 1 today. Get some firelighters, whatever you've got, natural kindling, etc. If you're using a kettle, that little divot down the bottom, this is exactly how you start it. Firelighters down the bottom, then get about between 6 to 10 pieces of charcoal briquettes on top, light it up. Once it's all lit, we'll move that to the start of the fuse, and then that'll burn all the way through, and we'll chuck some fruit wood on top. I like to have my first piece just back, so
once you put the lit chuck on, then I can move it across, that will just touch, and then have another chunk every 5 to 10 centimetres, depending on your smoke tolerance levels, I guess. Right, from there, just light it up. I just got a ferro rod, pretty simple. Fire lighter, you can probably go straight onto the fire lighter, otherwise just a little cotton wool tuft on the top or some lint from your dryer. Bingo. Got a few shots that we got there and then. That'll probably take about 10 to 15 minutes. Once they all start to ash over, then we can move it over, start the fuse. Right, next step of prep or mise en place for you fancy buggers is we're gonna get onto the pork while those briquettes are heating up. Now, I'm camping, so we're gonna keep it simple, stupid, not gonna do anything too crazy. I'm not even gonna use a binder today. I'm just gonna use a knife. I'm gonna score the fat cap, season her up. If there is any huge big chunks of fat, we'll trim that down and then we should be ready to bang it onto the smoker. So this is my cutting board. Just a thick piece of decent foil, then just fold up the edges so the rub doesn't go everywhere. And then we can use this as a workbench, and we can scrunch this up into a tight ball. We can throw it out, we don't have to worry about washing the dishes. Prostate glove on. As you can see, I was talking about the big hard fat. You could probably just trim a piece like that. I'll give you an example. Pretty much, that's inedible. Won't run it down, but now it sits nice and soft under the finger. When it's nice and malleable, you know you're in for a win. Now, just to take a step back, when you're picking a good pork butt, see here you've got the money muscle, because that's where you'd win a lot of competitions. If it's got the striations of fat, nice big money muscles, you're generally in for a good win. As we can see here, it is quite hard, so I'm just going to basically just take off that chamfer, make it a little bit more aerodynamic as well. Don't have to go too crazy with this step. As long as we got it so it feels a little bit softer under the hand. And then that's all you have to do, so just take a few layers off until you get to that stage. Right, once you've trimmed that fat cap down to about 1/2 centimetre, it's a lot softer on the top, we're just going to do a cross cut down to the meat level, about every 2.5 centimetres or about 1 inch. And then, and what this will do, this will actually open up during this process of the cook, allow a lot more smoke, flavour penetration, and allow that fat to render out a little bit better as well. Now for the seasoning side, that's going to be our top, being our presentation side, so flip it on its guts. We're going to go for the bottom first. I'm actually using a red meat rub here, Backyard Barbecue. I'd normally use something like Oz Dirt, or whatever your favourite pork rub is. But we're going something different, Backyard Barbecue. Being a pork bike, we're going to go quite heavy, but we will give it a nice season at the end of the cook. Once we've actually pulled the pork, we'll give it another re-season. Remember, pat, don't rub, save that for the bedroom. I like to go till you can barely see that ruby red through on a pork butt, and then just do that on all the sides, flip it on its back again, finish off the top. That bloody simple. How's the bloody Serenity, by the way? How good. Just noting that the snake obviously goes all the way around. We'll rotate this probably every 2 hours or so, just so we haven't got direct heat onto the pork. If you're looking, it ain't cooking. So what's this setup called again?
It's a carp setup, that's what I know it as.
So what's the thing called that actually sets it off, the sensor?
A fish alarm.
Very, very high tech then. Not a bad way to spend the day though. It'd be better if you caught something, that'd be pretty cool.
I'd be stoked if you caught
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Even if it's a crab.
Yeah, see.
No luck with the scaly buggers, so let's cook up my famous brekky.
Righto, first bit, make it life a bit easier. We're just gonna leave it in one big chunk. Homemade bacon. straight on the heat. We'll sear that up, then we can put it to the cooler side, chop it all up, and that will go straight into that pancake mix. And we'll just slide him over. We're going to have half of it really direct heat, now the half a little bit cool, and then we can move pancakes around as required. Nothing wrong with a camping crispy, that's for sure. Right, we'll let that go for about another minute and then add the famous dark maple syrup. Super dark maple syrup. Have a go at that. See, that's where the egg comes into play, the milk, nice and fluffy, self-raising flour as well. Oh, stop it. Now this is bloody lemon. Mark's not good enough, he has to get dragged out. Didn't have his Wheaties this morning.
He's going to end back up though, isn't he?
Nah, he's gone. There we go. Go, put in. You can do it. Right, so it's been about 3 hours. Like I said, now we're just going to make sure that it's not near the hot spots, plus also rotation so we can get nice even bark caramelization. So now this is facing towards the hotter side, and we get a nice, you can already see that beautiful mahogany colour there. We'll let that rip for another couple of hours and we'll come back and have a look. Let's go for a few more flicks, eh? Because it's quite shallow, I'm just going to reel it in quite quick, try and keep it just above the rocks. Hopefully the cloud cover might have some of the fish coming out of the deeper areas, otherwise we'll have to grab the kayak and go into some of the dark areas. We might cross over that way and see if we can walk down the bank a little bit. You can just see over there where the water's starting to pool, a bit of an eddy. Let's go have a look. Look at that, freshwater clam. Alright, we're just going to see if we can sneak up onto that bank, cast in that dark area over there. Just up on this bank, kind of cast underneath that tree. So there we go. Oh, honking. Let's try that again, shall we? Gotta be careful, obviously don't want to get stuck in the branch going up. Not too bad. Almost need to thread that needle just underneath that little archway in the branch and drop it just near the bank. See if we can draw anything out from those dark depths. There we go, that's a bit better. Yep. Right, young Callum's going to grab it and drop it in a bit deeper. See how we go. Yeah, maybe about half a metre. Not ideal. Right, I've just moved up maybe 10 or so metres. I don't know if you can see that, there's a log there, a bit of shade. I'm going to try and cast just off the left on it. The current will bring it down near the log and then I'll start pulling it back in. See how we go. The current's doing most of the work for me and then I'm just basically slowly pulling it in, trying to simulate something like what a yabby would do. Who knows if that's actually going to pay dividends? Who knows if there's even any fish in this part of their river system? There we go, that's a bit better.
Hey, Aussie Q.
Barbecue.
Do you want anything from the shop?
6'1".
That can be arranged with Mike.
Right, reel in hand. All right, we've got into a nice little nook and cranny here, a bit darker. I'll see if we can flick it a bean again and see what happens. Oh, you f***ing cunt. Straight over the fucking branch. Fuck. You might be able to push the line up with your oar over the top, or that. Holy shit, I didn't expect that to happen. I think it's on you now. I've caught a fucking rob. Are you alright?
What a fuckhead.
Thank you, what a debacle. I was not expecting that at all.
Neither was I. Fucking fishing.
Well, there's definitely no fish anymore. See that little cave over there? Gonna launch him just over. You can definitely see all the drop-offs and stuff here. Definitely when it's like darker, there'd be something to play with for sure. Alright, nothing here. Alright, I've just pulled up on this creek bed here. No, wouldn't be a croc slide. Just gonna try and flick it. You can see there's like a swing or something over there. We're gonna pump him over there because it's obviously be a lot deeper. You can see how high that water gets up from there and it goes all the way out there. Jeez, this would be insanity when this area is flooding, that's for sure. Might be lucky, might be just drop it in. Come on, you good thing. Give us something. Right, Fairfield flicks downrange that time, still nothing. So it looks like all I'm catching is a cold. Right, let's get back to the pork. It should be at the wrapping stage now. We'll wrap it up for the last few hours, just let it steam through, really make that pull apart so we can bang it on some cracking burgers. That's what camping is all about. Well, for me anyway, good feeds. Finally caught something. Yee-hoo! There we go, there's dinner sorted. Oh, he's hooking in. Right, well, it's been about 9 hours, you bloody legends. The bark is singing like a mad dog. Let's go grab it, we'll go wrap it up. Right, why do we wrap it? It retains moisture. Just remember, it doesn't actually add any moisture regardless of what anyone may tell you. As you can see here, have a go at that bark. Oh man, that looks good. That is singing. We'll grab it off, we'll add a few little cheeky things to it just to enhance the flavour profile. I might add a bit more charcoal to that just to juice it up for the end cook. Prostate glove on, Jesus. First cab off the rank, we're gonna go butter. Then we're gonna go that dark maple syrup. Then we're gonna go some maple vinegar. It goes really well. We don't want to go too hard because we obviously don't want to overpower the pork here. Just a nice little splash and we'll put a little bit more on there in the end. And that's all we need for that. A little more of that maple vinegar, just add a little taste. We're gonna splash a little bit of that in the end once we start pulling. Wrap her up. We're gonna make sure it's nice and tight because we don't want any of that liquid to come out. And also, the looser we have it, the more chance we've got of it steaming, which we don't want either. Tuck him underneath. Now we're gonna go back into the smoker until we can push a toothpick or a probe through it and it should literally feel like warm apple pie. Nice and tender. Right. Back on. Now we're gonna let that ride for probably about 3 hours. And like I said, until it probes like warm apple pie or like loose butter. Then we're ready to pull it and make those burgers. Whilst we're waiting for the pork to finish off cooking, we're gonna do the slaw.
So I'm gonna go, if you're doing pre-packaged stuff, you're gonna go about 300 and something grams. Then we're gonna add a full Granny Smith apple. Make sure you decore it. Nice thin slices. Then we just got those real thin wedges, just cut them into julienne, so it's just like very thin matchsticks. And then just dump them straight into your slaw. Mix that through. Right from there, going to go splash that maple vinegar, some lemon juice will be fine, even some apple cider vinegar. Then we're going to go some Kewpie mayonnaise, metric shizer load. Then we're going to go about 3 pinches of salt. And about the same of the pepper. And mix that through, cover it up, bang it back into the fridge until you're ready to go. Right, we have now rested for a good solid hour. Let's keep it simple, stupid. We want to keep all these juices though in the bottom of the tray. Look at that. Unfold it like that. Tip all that out. And then I can just grab the whole chunk. Like that.
What do you use to season it?
So this is actually a red meat rub that I normally use on steaks or brisket and stuff, but it actually tastes really good. See that smoke ring? Look at that, just melts in the hand. That's exactly what you want. Little sneak, it's a bit hot, so just watch your hand. Take out your bone, look at that. And if you want, because you've obviously cooked it that bloody well, use that to chop him up. And it should go through like a hot knife through butter. Take out some of the cartilage if you see any of this. If you haven't done a pork before, especially a Boston butt, you have a couple of pieces of cartilage and then you'll have that bone that I showed you before. If you want a bit less saturated fat, bang into that white meat. Have a go at the colour on that skin. That is nuts. Look at that. A little sweetness from the pork, a little bit smoky. And then, like I said, we'll dress it with that maple vinegar. Otherwise, some warmed apple cider vinegar is really, really good. Just complements that pork perfectly, that nice sour notes. As you can see, I'm just chopping it up, no dramas with that bone. That's what you want. You don't want to turn it to cat food. I like to still have a little bit of texture behind it. Just to get a bit of chunk. That's it. That's all you need. Oh, let me try some more. Now to serve, we're going to go cheese on the bottom because you want the cheese to be melted by that pulled pork. And then we're going to go sauce on the lid. Now, cheese is obviously subjective. I'm a huge fan of the high melt cheese or the American cheese. Works very, very well. Don't want to go too heavy-handed on the barbecue. I've got the Franklins here from Texas. You don't want to absolutely murder the pork. If you're not familiar with the Franklins, it's like a vinegary, sort of a bit more viscous. And then we're going to go that coleslaw on top. Lids on, Bob's your uncle. Cop a load of that. Yep, ready to go. Hook in before they get cold.
Cheers, John.
No worries. I'll just leave the leftovers here to hook up some more. Yeah, just go whatever.
Thank you.
No worries.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
So this was absolutely loaded.
Get it. Oi fellas, let's go. If you want backups to pork, cheese, coleslaw, buns, yeah, I can get stuck in. No worries. No worries at all.
A few moments later.
Let's fucking go.
That was good wearing out. I got a proper hook on now.
There's no pressure or anything.
So I got a net. I can't see all because I'm getting blinded.
Blinded
by the light.
Oh, it's all a bit.
Oi!
You got something. What do we got? Have a look.
Do we need a tape measure?
Yeah.
God.
Here we go.
That's pretty big.
Let's get this in.
What do we got?
Don't let him go.
He's not ready yet.
Rip him up. Rip.
Fair fish.
Get him up.
I wouldn't have believed that was in there.
All the way up.
Bass.
Bass.
That's a bass. Yep.
That's a nice.
Is it 30 centimetres or not quite?
Ugly looking motherfucker.
They actually eat well.
You could put something in that.
In his gob. Beautiful.
Well, good morning. Got smashed. We got pissed on by a bit of rain last night. Thought I'd go for a quick flick before we start up brekkie. At least we got a couple of fish on the board last night. Not the most desirable. We did get a bass, so that's pretty cool. Now, do you have any unwritten rules of the campsite? i.e. whoever gets up first sparks up the brews, gets the fire pit going, whatever the case may be. I'm a big fan of, if you've got a big brew drinker and you've got the way to heat a bunch of water, pump that out first, get the fire going, then everyone can start cooking up brekky, etc. That's just me. What's your go-to? Well, the weather got angry pretty bloody quick. I don't know if this is going to come up on the GoPro or not. That is just getting nasty.
Is anything in the yellow when you get up?
Well, we'll keep an eye on the bomb, see if we're going to go out the boat or not. Well, Jesus Christ. She's biting hard now. Pouring down. Fuck, now we got leaks everywhere like the Titanic. Never going up. Well, we can't cook the lamb, so let's do breakfast. Bit of beef tallow.
I've got my phone on, I say, hey Siri, set an alarm. Lovely weather for ducks, isn't it?
Tap.
Oh, you gotta cut that.
There we go. Hook in.
You want to chuck that pan? Make it back. And then get both feet off, boot to the top.
And it wouldn't be a banjo without dead horse, surely. Egg. Oh, bit of homemade bacon. Oh. That's meat.
Now, we spied these vans about to send it up on the hill to go home after being pissing down. So, of course, we had to get the drone up and, rate them out of 10. I think they did bloody well. I'm like, there is absolutely no way these vans are getting up, and they sent it.
Right, after that debacle this morning with that storm, not being able to do my rotisserie / sandpit lamb shoulder, I'm going to flick one of the Outback Yabby lures in, go for about 20 casts, see what we can do. A lot of shade sort of over this area, obviously a lot of snags and stuff, you should be able to see that. See what we come up with. Cheeky little bevy to keep us hydrated. So to avoid the snags, I'm going to run it back a little faster because then it won't dip all the way down. Come on, you good thing. I know you're in here, we've got a few last night. We've had a few splashing around today. Right, like your most freshwater fishing, you get snagged out like there's no tomorrow, so this is potentially the solution. So young Adam here is going to fucking pump them on, see if we can retrieve this Outback Yabby lure. What's the sort of like the science behind it? Like how does it work and stuff like that?
It slides down your line.
Yep.
And the idea is that'll either knock it off what it's stuck on.
Yep.
Or the lure just gets snagged up inside of there.
Yep.
And it might.
Righto, we'll see how we go. Balancing on here like a bench here. Well, we didn't fucking get her off this time. There's a lure going to the fish fucking graveyard. It's alright. I don't know how to fucking rig it up, but Adam does. he'll sort it out. Righto, off to another spot.
Conditions are a bit slippery, lock in the diffs. Battle pluggers are prep, ready to rock and roll. Gonna find a nice shady spot, hopefully with a bit of depth in it. Go for a bit of a flick and see what we can bring back in. I can break one of the eyelets. See if I can still cast. Oh, that wasn't too bad. We've got a connoisseur here. This little bass decided to peg some cheese. How good. He is 30 on the nose. Well, that was a bit of Australian cheddar. What a legend. We're doing it all catch and release. Off she goes. Get a bit of oxygen back into her. And sayonara. Ew. Let's measure him up. Big cut. Have a go at that. Now, just a hot tip for young players, if you're getting absolutely railed by bugs and you've got a campfire, etc., grab one of the logs and just place that maybe a couple of meters away. That smoke will be enough to bugger off all those bugs. Well, there you have it. You can get some cracking cooks when you're out camping. You can still keep it simple, stupid, but also have a bloody good feed. Absolute shame we didn't get to do that lamb. Caught a few fish, nothing that we'll write home about. So it looks like someone that hasn't fished in 28 years may be able to catch something other than a cold. I hope you enjoyed that pulled pork, something a little bit different with that slaw. Gives that a bit of crunch, a little bit of creaminess, and a little bit of acidity to go with that pork. I think it's an absolute bloody cracker. If you're a freshwater fisher human, I'd love to hear in the comments tips and tricks. As you can imagine, been fucking absolutely donkey years since I fished, and even then I was 15, had absolutely no idea. Stay tuned. I'd like to get cracking on that lamb roast history cook, finished off under the sand and coals, etc., because I've just never seen that done. Something a little bit different from your camp cooking, but to give you still infuse that lamb with the fire and the smoke, which is, you know, comes synonymous. Well, here's the last scene from this beautiful bloody location. Let's go have a look.